My sister and I were reborn together. In our past life, she was entangled with the young master of the Beijing elite circle, on and off for 7 years, but that young master always had a first love, a white moonlight. The moment she returned from abroad, he abandoned my sister without hesitation. In the end, my sister was left shattered, distraught and lost. She was hit by a car. Not only was her face disfigured, but she also lost the child she was carrying, and she blamed everything on me. The day the young master announced his engagement to his first love, she shoved me off the rooftop with vicious intent, but I didn't let her go either. In that moment of falling, I grabbed her tightly and dragged her down with me. Reborn once more, the system offered us a buff selection. This time, she chose first, intelligence. I chose beauty. I realized my sister had also been reborn, but what she didn't know was that I had planned to pick beauty all along. When I opened my eyes again, the system spoke to both of us. You now have one chance to choose a buff. You can pick intelligence or beauty. Beauty comes with double the effect. In the previous life, my sister had rushed to say, I want beauty. She clicked without hesitation, leaving me no time to react, forcing me into intelligence. This time, she did the same, grabbing the option before me, but this time, she chose intelligence. That's when I knew she had also been reborn. After I clicked the remaining beauty buff, my sister looked at me with smug satisfaction, but she had no idea that in this life, I had always wanted beauty. Both hosts have made their selections. Your bodies will gradually transform over the next 100 days. Enjoy your new lives. 2. In the previous life, after my sister chose beauty, her appearance changed day by day. First, her eyes grew larger and more vibrant. Her skin became smooth, fair, and flushed with life. Her nose slowly lifted. The bones in her face subtly shrank, and her features became more sculpted and defined. Most importantly, no matter how much she ate, her body never gained weight. She stayed forever in an hourglass figure. With the system, my sister became a top-tier beauty. She started modeling in middle school, earning money for the family. From then on, her status in the household soared above everyone else. Studying again, what's the point? After graduation, you'll just be a wage slave. A month's salary won't even match what I earn in a single day of shooting. That was the line my sister threw at me most often in our past life, and every time, she'd demand I do this or that for her. After my sister got picked as a model, my parents realized her shooting income far exceeded their office jobs, so they both quit and became her full-time managers. They packed her schedule with shoots, non-stop. My sister hated studying anyway, so after school, she'd rush straight to the set. That's how her homework landed on my desk. Every day, after finishing my own assignments, I had to copy hers in her handwriting. I tried refusing once, but the moment I said no, my parents lashed out at me. Your sister works so hard on set, what's wrong with you writing her homework for her? My father's face darkened as he pointed at me, his voice harsh. But we're still students. Students should do what students are supposed to do. Learning is. Before I could finish, my mother slapped me across the face. Don't think your good grades make you special in this family. Your sister earns so much for us now. Your tuition, she paid for it. She has to rush to shoots after school. What's the big deal if she can't finish her homework? Is it really that hard for you to help her? Yeah, without me, where would you get the money for school? Just do it. Stop talking back. With my parents backing her up, my sister discovered a new use for me. From then on, she bossed me around without restraint. Every time she came home from a shoot, I had to take off her shoes and massage her feet. At school, I carried not only my own bag but hers too. At lunch, I had to get her meal, bring it to her, stand there waiting until she finished, then take the tray away. She slowly turned me into her personal servant. She even bragged about it to her clique of friends. At school, I had zero dignity. To prove myself, I studied even harder. With my boosted intelligence, I breezed through and became the top scorer in the city's high school entrance exam. When reporters asked my parents about their educational methods, they stood in front of the cameras, proudly reading the script I had written for them. After finishing, they made sure to pull my sister into the frame. With her stunning looks, my sister quickly went viral online. Everyone knew about our family's 2 daughters, one academic champion, one beauty queen. After she gained fame, a talent agency took notice. A scout painted a vivid picture for my parents, convincing them that her face was made for the big screen. A rare beauty like this, she's destined to be a star. Falling for his promises, my parents signed the contract without hesitation. My sister had no interest in studying anyway. She loved showing off her beauty in front of the camera. Under the agency's arrangement, she joined an acting boot camp, but she never truly delved into the craft. Her acting was mediocre. For years, she coasted on her looks alone. Combined with her lack of dedication on set, she had few real works to her name. Even after years in the industry, she was stuck as a third-tier actress, but luck was on her side. Beauty always has its advantages. After entering the entertainment circle, suitors flocked to her. During a shoot, she met Shen Yan, the young master of the Beijing elite circle. His family's power was unmatched in the industry. He fell for my sister at first sight and pursued her relentlessly. From endless luxury gifts to industry resources, he used his influence to pave her way, skyrocketing her status in the entertainment world. My sister thought she had found true love. They began a torturous 7-year relationship, but Shen Yan never proposed. She lost interest in acting, spending every day orbiting around him. No matter how much she hinted, he remained unmoved. The reason? His heart had always belonged to his white moonlight, Lin Warner. Everything he did for my sister was because she resembled Lin Warner. She was just a substitute. The moment Lin Warner returned from abroad, Shen Yan proposed to her immediately. After all, he had loved her all along. Their families were old friends, and they had been betrothed since childhood. Lin Warner returned to the country and heard about the high-profile romance between Shen Yan and her younger sister over the past few years. Naturally, she couldn't tolerate her, so she proposed that if they were to get married, he had to cut ties with the sister completely. By then, the sister was already pregnant and naturally unwilling to lose this opportunity that had landed in her lap, no matter where Lin Warner had come from. She continued to cling to Shen Yan. However, even after learning about her pregnancy, Shen Yan showed no sign of softening. He forcefully demanded she abort the child. After she rejected his sky-high compensation offer yet again, the sister was struck by an out-of-control car on her way back, instantly sent flying through the air. Though her life was saved after emergency treatment, she was left disfigured, and both the child and her ability to bear children were lost forever. Her heart filled with bitter resentment, and she vented all her fury onto me. She believed I had betrayed her, that I was jealous of everything she had, that I had deliberately whispered in Lin Warner's ear, and that her car accident was orchestrated by Lin Warner. Lin Warner was my graduate school classmate during my senior year of college. With a high GPA and a background from a top domestic university, I applied for and received a full scholarship to a prestigious foreign university. There, I met Lin Warner, who had bought her way in. We became very close, and she promised to recruit me into her family's company as soon as we graduated. Just as we returned to the country, ready to make our mark, my sister's incident happened. That day, my parents urgently called me home. When I arrived at the rooftop, my sister was threatening to commit suicide. She stood there, her face ashen, staring at the crowd trying to persuade her. Gone was her former beauty. In its place were horrifying patches of scars. Her appearance had always been her greatest pride, and now that it was destroyed, she seemed to lose all will to live. Suddenly, her gaze locked onto me. She called me over, saying she wanted a few words alone. Everyone urged me to go and comfort her, but as I slowly approached, she suddenly grabbed me, muttering, "Go to hell." My eyes widened in terror. In that moment of falling, instinct took over. I grabbed hold of my sister's pushing hand, clinging tightly to her. Her slender frame lost balance, and together we plummeted to the ground. This time around, I chose beauty. My face and body began to change day by day. My foundation wasn't bad to begin with, and with the boost of good looks, my features became even more perfect, combining into an almost flawless, striking beauty. My outstanding appearance made me stand out among my peers, turning me into the center of attention. I no longer needed to curry favor to have friends. Everywhere I went, I enjoyed the convenience that beauty brought. It turned out that being pretty felt so good. My sister was also famous at school. Everyone envied her high intelligence. In class, she never seemed to study, but as long as she flipped through books before exams, she could effortlessly achieve top scores. As for me, even though I had memories of my past life, I clearly felt my memory deteriorating this time, and I had forgotten a lot of previously learned knowledge. So, I had to study even harder to consolidate. After entering middle school, I spent a lot of time on academics. Except for truly difficult problems, I could basically get points on everything else, desperately maintaining my grades in the top 10 of the year, all because I wanted to catch my parents' attention, to make them love me a little more. I was my parents' adopted daughter. They had been unable to conceive for a long time, but unexpectedly, my mother became pregnant half a year after adopting me. In my past life, all of my parents' affection went to my sister. Since childhood, All the good food and fun toys were reserved for her, and I could only pick the leftovers. If I complained, my parents would lecture me, "You're the older sister, how can you compete with your sister?" Even Kong Rong knew to give up the bigger pair. "You must always remember to take care of your sister, no matter what." Under this kind of upbringing, I developed a sensitive, love-starved personality, always subconsciously trying to do everything perfectly, hoping my parents would pay more attention to me. In this life, I had beauty and maintained decent grades. I thought my parents might look at me with more favor, but they were still as biased as ever. One day, my sister saw me doing practice problems and sneered, "Studying again, how diligent, big sister, but what's the use, you still can't outscore me." I just gave her a cold glance and ignored her, faced with my indifference. She turned to our father and complained tearfully, "Dad, look at her." I kindly called her to dinner, but she didn't even acknowledge me. She told me to get lost and not disturb her studying. The next second, my father pointed at my nose and cursed, "What are you pretending for? Do you need an invitation to eat? Might as well just feed you, since you love studying so much. Then don't eat tonight, we'll eat without you." The three of them then enjoyed a harmonious meal together. I remained silent, not responding, too lazy to explain. Even though I stubbornly held back, tears had already blurred my eyes. So it was true. If they didn't like me, no matter how much I improved, they would never see me as worthy. Since I had become beautiful, I decided to use my looks for something. I started applying for modeling jobs and quickly became a part-time model. Using memories from my past life, I knew which stocks would be profitable. I spent weekends working part-time, telling no one. To my family, I only said I was going to the library to study. In just 1 year, I earned quite a bit, so without hesitation, I went all in on those stocks, betting everything. After all, in the future, those stocks would increase more than 20-fold. After the middle school entrance exam, my sister lived up to expectations, easily becoming the top scorer. Just like in my past life, reporters came to our home, but this time, they interviewed a different person. When asked about her study methods, she smiled shyly. "Honestly, I don't have much experience to share. I usually don't pay much attention in class. I just cram before exams, and this time was no different." The reporter was stunned for a few seconds, then began praising her profusely. My parents beamed with pride, chiming in, "Our child has never caused us any worry with her studies. We never spent money on tutoring classes either." Watching the three of them being interviewed, I deliberately walked past the camera, immediately catching the reporter's attention. Just as I expected, the reporters turned to me, and I stepped up to the camera, introducing myself with a calm smile. The interview video exploded online within hours. The most clicked tag was #GodLevel featured middle school girl, and underneath it, the edited clip of my appearance played with perfectly timed slow motion and background music. I looked like a striking, high-contrast beauty straight out of a drama. When I woke up the next morning, the video had already racked up 880,000 likes. My social media accounts were dug up, and I gained 80,000 new followers overnight. Some fans had somehow found old photos from my modeling days and posted them online. Just like that, I got another wave of minor fame. Just like my sister from the previous life, I signed with that same agency, not for any grand reason. I just wanted money. Having been given this rare chance to live again, I wanted to experience a different kind of life. It wasn't until my sister saw my photos online that she realized I had been working as a model all along. That night, she slipped into my room. I was already lying in bed, under the moonlight. Her face darkened as she stared at me for a long, long time. Then, suddenly, she laughed. "I know you've been reborn too. Don't get too cocky. Soon, you'll pay for that face." 5. I chose to enroll in an international high school. It might have seemed like a waste given my test scores, but compared to regular high schools, the workload here was lighter. That meant I could earn more money outside of class. The agency was supportive too. They pulled some strings to get me in. My sister, on the other hand, applied to the best local high school. We still lived under the same roof. She kept causing trouble from time to time, but I always shut her down with cold silence, until that day, when she started up again. She barged into my room for no reason, spotted a few luxury brand shopping bags on the floor, each containing gift boxes, and kicked them over without a second thought. "Oh, looks like some man is being generous. No wonder you gave up on the key high school to go to some international school. So this is what it's about. You've been hooking rich second-generation guys at school, haven't you?" She sneered. She had kicked over the birthday gifts my classmates had given me. I hadn't even opened the boxes inside yet, and now they were scattered across the floor. A white dress peeked out from one of the bags. She stepped on it, grinding her foot back and forth, crushing the pristine fabric until it was stained black. Her eyes were venomous as she looked at me. Or are you sleeping with old men for connections? At that, I couldn't hold back anymore. I lunged at her and started slapping her face, left and right. Did I give you too much face? Did you eat shit this morning? Your mouth stinks. I let loose a string of colorful curses while never letting up on my hands. She struggled desperately. I was much thinner than her now, and I could feel her about to overpower me. But then, all those years of being bullied flashed through my mind. In that instant, adrenaline surged through me, and I kicked her flying across the room. Let me make this clear. Don't you dare come at me again. If you pull something like this again, I'll settle every old and new score with you. We'll both go down together if we have to. She crumpled to the floor, clutching her stomach in pain, looking up at my bloodshot eyes. She finally showed fear. After that, she quieted down a lot. It had been a long time since she last picked a fight with me, but knowing her vengeful nature, I knew she wouldn't just give up that easily. 6. At my new school, I met Lynn Warner. Coincidentally, she was also studying here. In our past life, we were inseparable during grad school. In this life, we became best friends again. We still stuck together all the time, but this time, our little group had one more person, Shen Yan. I hadn't had the best impression of Shen Yan from our previous life, but as I got to know him, he turned out to be completely different from the image I had of him. He was cold and aloof by nature, but around Warner, he changed completely. He became incredibly gentle. He was always by her side, like a little shadow. Whenever he talked to her, his eyes sparkled. Anyone could see he had a crush on her. Warner was the quirky type, her mind always buzzing with wild ideas. She'd act on them the moment they popped into her head. Shen Yan and I would just follow along, the three of us hanging out every day. By the second semester of freshman year, I applied for a double room in the dormitory and ended up sharing it with Warner. I rushed back to pack my things. Warner wanted to help me move, but her parents called her away to entertain guests, so it was just me and Shen Yan. He let me borrow his family's private car and even got in with the driver to help carry my luggage. We were almost done when my sister suddenly showed up. Bad timing. As I was standing on a stool, reaching for a forgotten item, I lost my balance. Quick as a flash, Shen Yan caught me from behind. Afterward, he let go of me immediately, keeping a safe distance, but my sister, standing at the doorway, saw everything. I looked up and saw her glaring at us, her face dark. Shen Yan walked past her, carrying my suitcase, and said coldly, "Excuse me." She stood there frozen for a long time before finally stepping aside. After Shen Yan left, I saw her face clearly. Her eyes were full of tears. Seeing Shen Yan must have stirred up painful memories for her. The man who had once hurt her, now not recognizing her at all, must have cut deep. Besides, in this life, my sister was just average looking. She didn't resemble Warner in the slightest. "Are you with him?" she demanded. I deliberately stayed silent, just smiling at her. "Are you or aren't you?" she suddenly snapped, her voice cracking. That scene must have stabbed straight into her heart. I walked up to her and whispered, "Isn't the answer obvious?" As I walked away, I heard her voice behind me, "I will never let you off." 7. To be honest, I said that on purpose. Watching her burn with jealousy gave me a twisted sense of satisfaction. Poor Shen Yan, though, he'd unwittingly become my fake boyfriend later. When the three of us got together, I explained everything to them. Just as I braced myself for judgment, Warner burst out laughing. "Sis, you're so mean. Ha 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 ha, that's exactly what she deserves. After bullying you all these years, I swear, your sister has some serious screws loose." Yesterday, she kept staring at me from the doorway. It gave me the creeps. I forced myself to stay calm and quickly walked out, feeling as if I had done something to wrong her. Shen Yan muttered under his breath. I watched him, silently thinking in my heart, "You will probably never realize in your entire life that you did, in fact, do something to wrong her." Summer vacation arrived, and my management company landed me a role in a movie. Though my screen time wasn't much, it was a big budget production. I happily joined the crew and began a 45-day shoot. Over those long days of filming, I made many friends on set. Working alongside seasoned actors and the director, I picked up countless acting techniques. Slowly, I fell in love with the craft of acting. When school started again, I stepped into the classroom to find a few classmates locked in a heated discussion. The moment they saw me, they fell silent. A sense of dread crept into my heart. The next second, Warner stumbled in. Breathless, "Come with me." quick, something huge has happened." The three of us sat together. An anonymous ID had posted an exposé online. The article's headline read, "Shocking, the wildly popular middle school girl who entered the entertainment industry actually slept with big shots for resources." Clicking in, I found screenshots of WeChat conversations. The content went something like this: "Let me tell you a juicy secret. Lu Yao had a messy private life back in school. Tons of guys chased after her, she tangled with several of them, and she kept them dangling. Later, she scored such high marks on the high school entrance exam but insisted on going to an international high school. Where did her family get that much money to pay for it? That school is one of the most expensive private schools in our city. Do you know why she chose that school? Because the students there are all rich and powerful. She wanted to keep seducing men, and only wealthy ones. I heard she hooked up with that Beijing Circle Prince, SY, and he showered her with luxury goods." Picture, several wrapped designer items. Background is my room. Who would have thought that after becoming famous and entering the entertainment industry, she'd still sleep around for resources? Picture, a candid shot of me on set filming. Then came the poster's message: "I have a video of Lu Yao sleeping with an entertainment industry big shot, face exposed. Reply with 1 in the thread, and I'll send it to you privately one by one." I grabbed the phone without hesitation and replied with a 1. "Why did you reply to? So many people are replying and bumping this thread. It's already on the trending list." Warner exclaimed, agitated. "It's fine, I'm curious too. What kind of video does she think is confident enough to expose?" I said calmly. These past few days, I had been waiting for Lu Qing's revenge. In fact, I was even looking forward to seeing what method she would use to that end. I had done many things to provoke her anger. For example, I deliberately shared the good news about my upcoming movie with our parents right in front of her. I intentionally sent messages to Xinyan where she could see them. I flaunted my various luxury bags in front of her, praising how generous her ex-boyfriend was. After carefully orchestrating many coincidences, the final blow was having Xinyan help me move my luggage, designed for her to witness. Her sudden return was also my arrangement, because only by letting her see it with her own eyes would she feel utter despair. Thinking back to my past life, she was the one who had beauty and a wealthy boyfriend. Now it was all mine. She must be feeling incredibly unbalanced. The pain of falling from a building in my past life is still etched in my memory. The sensation of my organs shattering was an extreme agony, and every midnight in my dreams, I can't forget it. After replying with Warner's account, the other side quickly sent a blurred intimate video. The me in the video had a flushed face, completely naked, and the ambiguous moans made Warner and Xinyan blush just from hearing them. The other side then sent a link to a website, where the unblurred version of the video was hosted. It seemed that the upgraded intelligence version of Lu Qing was much smarter than her past life self. She knew how to manipulate traffic, used abbreviations to avoid offending the Beijing Circle Prince, and even uploaded the unblurred version to an unregulated video site. The entire post seemed flawless, like a thunderbolt hammer. It was clear she was trying to destroy me this time. "Yao Yao, don't worry, I'll have the hacker my family's company hired last year for a fortune break into this small video site and trace her IP address," Warner said, her voice full of concern as she tried to comfort me. "If that doesn't work, I'll just hack the site and take the video down. Don't worry, I know who did this. No one else but my sister would do something like this." Shen Yan spoke up from the side. "Lu Yao, if there's anything you need from me, just say the word." So Shen Yan took charge of tracing the IP account on the social platform, while Warner had her hacker investigate the IP address of the small video site and find the original video before the AI face swap. I saved the video and went through it frame by frame, searching for traces of the AI face swap. Had to admit, with her enhanced intelligence, she was very clever. After the AI face swap, she even refined it. It seemed she had learned quite a few skills just to deal with me, but no matter how advanced the AI or Photoshop technology, there would always be flaws. After stubbornly zooming in on the details, I finally found several places where the transitions were unnatural. After an afternoon of hard work, we had gathered all the evidence. I recorded a long video, putting all the proof inside. Once I handed the video over to my management company, I let it go. The rest was their problem to solve, and they were more professional than me. Anyway, Lu Qing must have been blinded by rage. How could she have chosen this time to expose me? The post even mentioned the movie I was filming. The movie I was involved in was a big-budget production with a huge investment. My role was substantial, and before the film's release, the investors behind it wouldn't let rumors run wild, especially since this was slander. How could they let her off easily? Soon, the clarification video I recorded hit the trending list. The content of the video was roughly this: Lu Qing purchased a social media account, screenshot of the seller's transaction, dressed herself up completely covered, and went to a nearby internet cafe to post the thread, IP address screenshot plus continuous surveillance footage. Then, she found a small video from an overseas site featuring a woman whose face and body shape were extremely similar to mine, and she made a deal with someone who produced illegal AI face swap videos, screenshot of the seller's purchase record, then PS placed that illegitimate website, the image showing the server's backend IP address, still linked to that same internet cafe. With each spoken segment, a new image appeared, and the company even bought trending searches for me. This video sparked an enormous uproar online. The tide of public opinion suddenly shifted, and netizens began condemning the rumormonger. My former classmates, teachers, and friends from the film crew all stepped forward one after another to speak on my behalf, testifying to my character. In the wake of this incident, victims who had previously been targeted by AI face-swapping technology bravely came forward to speak for themselves. This drew even more widespread attention. People marveled at how advanced the technology had become, while also lamenting how low the cost of spreading rumors and breaking the law really was. Later, someone dug up evidence that the rumormonger was Lu Qing, and even released the interview video from her days as the top scorer in the high school entrance exam. Now, this was a disaster. The MCN agency my parents had just signed with refused to let it slide. They had been running a short video account, building a persona as the parents of a top student. Before their side hustle could even get off the ground, they were cyberbullied into deleting their account. In the end, I emerged victorious from this battle. Lu Qing was taken in for investigation due to her slander, leaving a permanent stain on her life. 9. In my senior year of high school, Warner excitedly told me that Shen Yan had made a romantic confession to her. While I was happy for her, I also wondered, in my previous life, Warner and Shen Yan had been apart for so many years. Had they actually gotten together back then? Seeing how deeply in love they were now, what could have possibly driven them apart later? Shen Yan got into the top university in the country. Although Warner wasn't strong academically, her family had planned her path early on, submitting applications well in advance. Eventually, she was admitted to a QS top 20 school. As for me, inspired by the senior actors I worked with on set, I fell in love with acting and eventually got into the Beijing Film Academy. Even though we went our separate ways, we stayed in touch, until one day, Warner told me she had broken up with him. It turned out that the long-distance relationship across countries had drained their feelings. Warner couldn't handle his delayed replies or the long stretches without seeing each other. Shen Yan, buried in his studies, had neglected her. In the end, they both decided to take some time apart. I could understand that. Their families had an engagement agreement, so they would still come back to China to get married eventually. 10. With my agent's help, I took on one gig after another, basically jumping from one set to the next without a break. I have to say, this industry really pays. Watching my bank balance climb higher and higher, I felt like I had truly chosen the right path. The angel investments I made back in middle school using my parents' accounts, given their current value, I could easily retire. Not to mention, I had already bought a house with the earnings from my high school acting gigs. The confidence that came with financial freedom let me pursue my career wholeheartedly. 8 years after graduating from university, I landed the lead role in a film directed by a well-known industry figure, skyrocketed to fame, and won the Best Actress award. Right after the awards ceremony, I rushed to catch a flight back to attend Warner and Shen Yan's wedding. At that wedding, I was the maid of honor. Dear Warner even picked out 4 gorgeous bridesmaid dresses for me. Ha ha ha. After the morning groom picking ceremony, I sat in the car with them on the way to the wedding venue. Let me introduce you. This is my bridesmaid, the big star Lu Yao, who just won Best Actress yesterday, and she's single, Warner said with a knowing anti-smile. Introducing me to the best man, Zhou Rui. I caught her drift. She wanted to pass on the good luck to the next person. Nice to meet you. First time seeing you in person. You're even more beautiful than on TV, he said with an exaggerated expression. This Zhou Rui, he actually pretended not to know me and greeted me with such a fake act. Fine, if that's how he wants to play, I won't call him out. Then let's add each other on WeChat. During the wedding vow ceremony, while everyone was watching the bride and groom exchange vows and kiss passionately, Zhou Rui glanced around, saw that no one was paying attention, and silently blew me a kiss from across the room. I couldn't help but laugh and secretly blew one back. That's right, Roy and I had already been together for a while. It only took us a month from meeting to getting together. That's why Warner and the others hadn't noticed. A month ago, we met at a wrap party for a drama. At the time, people were toasting him. He was the major investor for our show, the assistant director whispered in my ear. Do you know why you were chosen to play the female lead? I looked at her, puzzled. She leaned in conspiratorially. See that handsome guy everyone's toasting? That's our investor, Roy. He insisted on you as the female lead, or else he'd refuse to fund the project. Honestly, what's your relationship with him? I found it strange. What if I told you I don't know him? This is the first time I've seen him today. Would you believe me? The assistant director, disappointed that she got nothing out of me, said, "You're no fun," and turned to leave. The room felt stuffy, so I went out to the terrace for some fresh air and casually lit a cigarette. Turning around, I saw Roy standing right in front of me, riding the buzz from the alcohol. I deliberately blew a slow puff of white smoke toward him. The smoke swirled around his face, but he kept smiling the whole time. I spoke first. Why did you insist on me as the female lead? He paused for 2 seconds before replying, what if I told you it was love at first sight? Would you believe me? There was genuine sincerity in his eyes. Just like that. That's right, just like that. Add me on WeChat. His smile grew even brighter, as if there were stars in his eyes, and that's how we got to know each other. Now, back at the wedding, Warner was throwing the bouquet over her shoulder to the crowd of single women waiting as the bouquet arced beautifully through the air. Roy had somehow slipped into the group of women and, using his height advantage, easily caught it. What are you doing here? Warner turned around, surprised. The next second, Roy walked up to me, dropped to one knee, and said, Yao Yao, will you marry me? I took the bouquet and, without hesitation, leaned in to kiss him. In the hall, Warner started clapping, leading the applause. She turned to Shen beside her and said, see, spend enough time with me, and you start getting a little crazy too. 11. After Warner's wedding, Roy and I went public with our relationship. Our sweet interactions online quickly sparked heated discussions. A few years later, I won the Best Actress award once again for a film I both directed and starred in. At the award ceremony, I stood at the podium, my voice trembling with emotion as I thanked Roy, thanking him for his unwavering presence and support through every step of this journey. My heart pounded in my chest, and I paused, letting the silence stretch just a moment longer, feeling the weight of his name on my lips. Beneath the stage lights, Roy smiled back at me from his seat, his eyes shimmering with a deep, unspoken love that made the entire room fade away. Years passed like a gentle tide, and then I found myself standing beside Roy on a sun-kissed beach, the ocean whispering its blessings as we exchanged vows in a romantic seaside wedding. The salt breeze tangled my hair, and I felt his hand squeeze mine, grounding me in this perfect moment. At the ceremony, Warner and Shen arrived with their child in tow, their faces radiant with happiness. Watching them, so content, so complete, I felt an overwhelming wave of relief and joy wash over me, my eyes stinging with tears I didn't bother to hide. After the wedding, Roy and I set off on our honeymoon journey, leaving footprints across the world. From ancient cobblestone streets to vibrant sunsets over distant mountains, we savored every second of our private paradise. Just the two of us, wrapped in laughter and whispered promises. In this lifetime, my story unfolded like countless novels, brimming with love at every turn, and this time, I was no longer a side character. I was the protagonist, living each page with my heart wide open. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's continue to see. After being hospitalized due to overwork, the doctor said domestic medicine is cheaper, while imported medicine is more effective. I was just about to speak up and choose the domestic option, but my son cut me off with a cold sneer. Whether it's domestic or imported, it all costs money. Let's just go home and leave it to fate. After all, isn't money more important to you than life itself? But if I didn't save, how could you possibly afford a wedding home? But my husband didn't even give me a chance to speak. 15 years ago, my mom just wanted to visit her hometown, but you made such a fuss over money. The son is just following your example. You brought this on yourself. My heart felt as cold as ashes, and I was almost speechless. Like a mute, the two of them discharged me from the hospital with cold indifference. After 6 months of suffering from illness, I died painfully and hopelessly at home. When I opened my eyes again, I decided to be a generous and non-disappointing person, but my husband and son cried. Back when you gave birth to Junming, you cried and argued, wanting my mom to come and help take care Of the child, now that my mom is willing to come, why are you refusing again? You keep saying it will cost money to have her come. Does money mean more to you than family bonds? I stared blankly at my husband Wu Jianping in front of me, my head throbbing as if it were about to explode. I was just about to speak when a sharp pain shot through my leg. Looking down, I saw it was my 10-year-old son, Wu Junming, who had done it. He was scratching and clawing at my thigh, muttering about beating the stingy, bad mother to death. It was only then that I suddenly realized what was happening. I actually went back to the summer when those two people held a grudge against me for the rest of their lives, because this matter had been lingering in my mind until my death. I recalled it clearly immediately. In my previous life, my mother-in-law, Su Xiuqin, urged me to have a child. She said that once the child was born, I wouldn't have to worry about anything. Under pressure and trust, I gave birth to Wu Junming, but Su Xiuqin, who had promised to take care of everything, suddenly had a recurrence of her old illness, and couldn't come to help me during my postpartum confinement. Not just the confinement period. This old illness of hers flared up for a full 10 years. What made me even more speechless was that this old illness seemed to target only me. Back in our hometown, she took care of Wu Jianping's elder brother's family with utmost dedication and diligence. Finally, when Wu Junming grew up, and I had time to go out and work, Su Xiuqin kindly offered to come and help take care of Wu Junming, and what's more, they said they would bring Wu Jianping's nephew Wu Tianyu along, so the cousins could bond. I'm not a fool. How could I not tell that this was just an excuse to come and freeload? So I refused Su Xiuqin's visit on the grounds that we had no money at home, and I had a big argument with Wu Jianping and Wu Junming. But after the argument, Su Xiuqin still showed up at our doorstep without a word, bringing along Wu Tianyu, the son of my eldest brother, and made a whole list of demands as if she were in the right. I was so furious that I picked up a broom and chased both of them out. Because of this, Su Xiuqin was so angry that she was sick for a long time. Wu Jianping's older brother even went so far as to sever ties with him. It was precisely because of this incident that I was abandoned by these two men at such a young age and left to die. At this thought, I immediately forced a smile. Why are you all in such a hurry that you won't even let me finish what I have to say? When I said it's not possible just now, I didn't mean you can't come. I meant you can't come by train in a hard seat. Wu Jianping was taken aback. What do you mean? I smiled and continued. I mean we should buy plane tickets. It saves time, and Mom and Tianyu will be more comfortable. Plus, we'll get to see Mom and Tianyu sooner. Wu Jianping and Wu Junming exchanged a glance, their faces filled with disbelief. Over the past 10 years, I've tried working outside the home, but I could never find a suitable job. Every time I worked for less than half a year, the household would fall into chaos. So, after that, I've been a full-time homemaker. Wu Jianping's salary alone had to cover the mortgage and plan for Wu Junming's future. So I, who used to be quite the petit bourgeois before marriage, gradually turned into a tightwad who would split a single dollar into two to spend. But since you resent me for being so meticulous on your behalf, I might as well be a bit more generous. Isn't it just about spending money? As if I don't know how to do that. My sudden generosity, of course, took both of them by surprise. Wu Junming let go of my thigh and frowned. You're being this kind. You're not going to say plane tickets are expensive and wait for them to get cheaper before buying, are you? Last time I said I wanted to buy the newly released tablet. That's exactly what you said. Seeing that neither of them believed me, I didn't say much more and straightforwardly picked up my phone to start calling Su Xiuqin. Su Xiuqin had thought I would call to argue, but instead, I spoke gently and directly offered to book her a flight. So, she immediately pushed her luck, asking to bring my sister-in-law, Tian Yulan, along as well. Buying tickets at the last minute was much more expensive than usual. Wu Jianping frowned and was about to speak up, but without batting an eye, I bought tickets for all three of them, then smiled at Wu Junming and said, "See, Mom didn't lie to you, did she?" The father and son exchanged a glance, unsure of what to say, and simply nodded awkwardly. The next afternoon, Wu Jianping and Wu Junming drove the three of them back home. However, as soon as we entered the house, I noticed that Wu Jianping's expression wasn't as pleasant as it had been when we left. Before even sitting down, Su Xiuqin raised her eyebrows and began making demands in a sharp tone. "Since you were the ones who invited us here, you should understand the situation clearly. First, I don't sleep well, and I can't stay in those coffin-sized small rooms of yours. If I'm going to stay, it has to be in the master bedroom. Good ventilation is better for my health. Second, my appetite isn't great, so you'll have to find ways to cook me something delicious in the coming days. I've heard you have a lot of seafood here. so make sure it's included in every meal from now on. Lastly, flying isn't like taking a train, you can't bring much luggage, so we didn't bring any. Whatever we're missing, you'll need to get it for us as soon as possible. Wu Jianpei's expression grew even more unpleasant as he listened, and Wu Junming's smile froze in place. Actually, I had already guessed these situations would arise long before Su Xiuqin came. After all, when Su Xiuqin arrived, she kept emphasizing, "I'm not in good health, and I just want to spend more time with you all." This clearly shows she didn't come to help me, but rather to enjoy a comfortable life. Wu Jianpei always believed that Su Xiuqin, being his biological mother, would naturally side with him and think of him, but he forgot that while Su Xiuqin is indeed his biological mother, she is a mother who favors the eldest child. If it weren't for me fiercely protecting this little family, Wu Jianpei and Wu Junming had long been completely taken advantage of. In my previous life, Su Xiuqin came uninvited and stood at the door, making these demands of me. Which is why I was so angry that I chased her away with a broom. However, at that time, Wu Jianpei and Wu Junming happened to be away from home, so they didn't hear it. As soon as they returned home, they received a call from Su Xiuqin accusing me, and they immediately assumed I was too stingy to let her stay. After Su Xiuqin finished speaking, Wu Jianpei looked at me pleadingly, as if hoping I would refuse, but how could that be? I simply ignored Wu Jianpei's pleading look and warmly stepped forward to take Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan's hands. "Mom, sister-in-law, don't worry, I've already arranged everything for you. Starting today, you'll have to squeeze into the master bedroom. Tian Yu can share a room with Junming and Jianpei, and I will make do in the secondary bedroom." Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan glanced at the spacious master bedroom and finally nodded in satisfaction. Wu Jianpei was taken aback for a moment, tugging at my sleeve and whispering, "But the bed in the secondary bedroom is so small I can't even stretch my legs." I ignored him, instead calling everyone to the dining room for dinner. The 1-2-meter-long dining table was laden with a variety of dishes: Boston lobster, king crab, sea cucumber. Basically, I cooked whatever was expensive. This meal truly felt like a state banquet in terms of its standard. These were all things Wu Junming had been wanting to eat. So his eyes lit up. "Mom, you're the best mom in the world." Even the picky Su Xiuqin couldn't find any fault and quickly invited Wu Tianyu to sit down and eat. The meal was filled with joy and harmony. Even Wu Jianpei, amid the praises from Su Xiuqin and the other two, forgot about the earlier unpleasantness and kept complimenting me with approval. After dinner, Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan, who had come to take care of us and help us, simply lounged on the sofa, eating premium fruits and watching TV, completely unaware that the dishes needed washing. But I didn't get angry. Instead, I began to dutifully clear the table. Wu Jianpei couldn't bear to watch any longer and could only sigh as he followed me into the kitchen. "Mom is just too tired. Once she's rested, you can be the hands-off boss. And as for the dishes you made today, tomorrow," Wu Jianpei couldn't bring himself to say the words, "Don't do it," so he just stared at me intently, hoping I would understand on my own. I confidently nodded. "Don't worry, husband, I understand everything." Hearing this, Wu Jianpei finally breathed a sigh of relief. However, that relief didn't last long. The next evening after work, Wu Jianpei came back and glared at me angrily, saying, "Why does my phone show that my card was charged so much at the mall?" I almost couldn't help but laugh out loud. He had also said before that our family wasn't in such a bad financial situation, telling me to buy less from street stalls and not look like an old woman in my 30s. He even specifically set up a joint payment account for me, telling me to buy whatever I wanted. I foolishly thought Wu Jianpei was being good to me, but now, looking back, it was just because he knew I wouldn't actually buy anything that he pretended to be generous. But I didn't say that. Instead, I introduced the things I bought today as if they were treasures. Mom and sister-in-law didn't bring anything with them. They can't go without clothes or daily necessities, right? I thought you were busy, so I specifically took them to the mall, bought some clothes and shoes, and even got Mom a gold bracelet. If other families have it, our mom should have it too. And I also bought some toys for Junming and Tianyu. After all, it's rare for them to come, and we can't just sit here staring at each other. The more I introduced, the uglier Wu Jianpei's expression became. "Are you crazy?" But this time, I didn't need to argue back. Hearing the commotion, Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan walked out of the master bedroom wearing their new clothes. "Jianpei, what do you mean by that? How is buying us a few things considered crazy?" "That's right, Jianpei, look at your family living the good life here while we suffer in poverty back in the village, doesn't that weigh on your conscience? You always used to say your wife was stingy, but it seems like you're the stingy one now, isn't that right? Wu Jianping listened to Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan, feeling more overwhelmed than ever. He could only look at me, as if hoping I would speak up for him, but instead of helping him, I frowned and said, exactly, is money really that important in your eyes? Do you have no regard for family bonds at all? This was something Wu Jianping had always said, so after I said that, he was instantly speechless, but Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan grew increasingly agitated, spraying Wu Jianping's face with their spit. It took Wu Jianping a long time to speak up. Mom, sister-in-law, I really didn't mean it that way. It's just that these things really can't be kept. I'll take you to return them right now. My life isn't as happy as you think. This money was meant for Junming's tutoring classes. All the other students have them, and if Junming doesn't sign up, he'll be embarrassed when school starts. Perhaps in Su Xiuqin's eyes, Su Junming still holds a bit of status, so upon hearing this, she hesitated a little. Then maybe we should. I didn't give Su Xiuqin a chance to say the word, withdraw. Cutting in first, Jianping, what are you saying? You're Junming's father, but am I not Junming's mother? I've already thought through the tutoring class situation. Tian Yu is 2 grades ahead of Junming, so it's perfect for Tian Yu to tutor Junming with his studies. It will also help Tian Yu reinforce his own knowledge, a win-win situation. Wu Junming never wanted to attend any tutoring classes in the first place, so he immediately agreed with me. That's right, Mom is absolutely correct. I love Mom the most. Dad, don't worry, I will definitely study hard with my brother and won't slack off. Wu Jianping, of course, knew that Wu Tianyu was simple-minded and physically strong, so he immediately refused. However, Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan had gone to great lengths to buy these items, so how could they bear to return them? Thus, another round of arguments ensued. Without my help, Wu Jianping was at a disadvantage and muttered to himself, forget it, it's just 2 months, can't I just endure it? That evening, the feast was just as lavish as the previous night, but Wu Jianping had lost the mood from yesterday, eating as if chewing wax, his face even uglier than when his father-in-law had died. Under my deliberate arrangements, Su Xiuqin and the others ate well, lived well, and grew happier by the day, and Wu Jianping's face grew darker and darker. This was far from the life he had imagined. After enduring for half a month, he finally couldn't take it anymore. In the middle of the night, tossing and turning, unable to sleep, he shook me awake and started settling accounts. Mom and sister-in-law have only been here for half a month, and we've already spent what we used to in a whole year. If this continues, I won't even be able to afford the mortgage. You used to be so frugal before. What's been going on lately? I don't care how you manage it, but starting tomorrow, we can't keep going on like this. Hearing this, I rolled my eyes inwardly, but I said with a pitiful tone, Jianping, in the past, I only cared about money and completely overlooked the importance of family. It was only after you and Junming talked to me last time that I realized how terribly wrong I was. Wu Jianping rolled his eyes in the darkness. So, you're doing this on purpose? Of course not, I interrupted Wu Jianping angrily. I'm genuinely remorseful, not for any other reason. Besides, didn't you say it yourself? It's only 2 months. Once my sister-in-law and Tian Yu go back after 2 months, Mom definitely won't be like this anymore. By then, I'll go to work, and Mom will take care of the house. You can't just think about what Mom gives without caring about her at all. The more I spoke, the more agitated I became, throwing back all the words Wu Jianping had used to persuade me in my previous life. He was left speechless by what I said and could only turn his back, muttering like a mantra, forget it, forget it. If nothing goes wrong, I'll get promoted next month, and I can earn this money back. Listening to his words, I just smiled while looking at Wu Jianping's computer. Promotion, I can't see it. The next day, I counted on my fingers waiting for Wu Jianping to get off work. Sure enough, as soon as he got home, he started shouting like crazy, who on earth touched my computer? Do you have any idea how much you've ruined me? I pinched my palm, trying my best to look confused. What are you yelling about? As soon as you get home, Junming and I wouldn't touch your things. I'm not shirking responsibility, nor am I hinting at anything. It was only Wu Junming and I who knew how important Wu Jianping's computer was. We wouldn't even touch it, let alone move it. But Wu Jianping was too angry now to remember any of that, and he spoke like a madman. Who else could it be if not you? Before, when I said I wanted to call my mom over, you were furious and refused. Then, for no reason, you insisted on agreeing, and as soon as you agreed, you started spending money recklessly. Are you doing this on purpose, trying to make me lose my temper and drive my mom away? Now that you see I've held back, you're messing with my computer again, trying to frame me." Before she could finish her sentence, Su Xiuqin walked out of the master bedroom with a displeased look on her face. Because I was too foolish and too easy to talk to, Su Xiuqin had already considered me one of her own and immediately spoke up to defend me. "Why are you making such a fuss as soon as you get home? It's just a computer, isn't it?" That computer definitely wasn't touched by our daughter-in-law. She's busy taking care of us every day, hardly having a moment to spare. When would she have time to play on the computer? Tian Yulan quickly chimed in. Yes, our sister-in-law really isn't that kind of person. She genuinely cares for us. We're not fools, can't we see that? As for that computer, I remember seeing Junming and Tian Yu playing with it yesterday. Hearing this, I slapped my thigh and said, "Right, yesterday, Tian Yu said he was going to look up information for Junming." Before I could finish my sentence, Wu Jianpain, as if gone mad, dragged Wu Tianyu and Wu Junming out. "Who are you? Who touched my computer? Tell me the truth." Wu Junming shook his head repeatedly. "It wasn't me, I didn't do it. It was my brother who said he wanted to help me look up information and tutor me with my homework, so he used it for a bit." Wu Tianyu, perhaps used to being unruly at home, immediately nodded. "Yes, I did use it, but I didn't break it." "Why are you being so stingy, uncle? Besides, my dad said you're his brother, so coming to your house is like coming to my own home. Since it's my own home, can't I even use a computer?" Seeing her son wronged, Tian Yulan's tears immediately fell. "Jianpain, can't your own nephew even touch your computer? Have you become a city person and now look down on us poor relatives? If you look down on us so much, why don't you just buy your nephew a computer? If you buy him a computer, even if you beg him, he won't use yours." Upon hearing about buying a computer, Su Xiuqin immediately perked up. "Exactly, your wife has been taking us shopping for this and that, but you've never once mentioned buying something for your own nephew. Let's go buy it now. I don't think the mall is closed yet." Su Xiuqin made a show of pulling Wu Jianpain toward the door, while Wu Tianyu jumped up excitedly, shouting that he wanted the best Apple computer. Wu Junming also joined in the commotion, saying that if they were buying a computer for his brother, he wanted one too. Wu Jianpain was already half dead with anger, and now he completely broke down. He shoved Su Xiuqin onto the sofa. Su Xiuqin, pushed down, immediately went crazy, lying on the floor and starting to cry and make a scene. Wu Jianpain screamed, "Shut up," and said, "Are you two ever going to stop? Do you know what Wu Tianyu actually did?" I pinched my thigh hard to keep myself from laughing out loud. What did he do? Just say it. Although Wu Jianpain was furious, he also understood that if he didn't clarify things now, not only would he be unable to hold anyone accountable, but he might also end up suffering a huge loss. So he suppressed his anger and said, "Wu Tianyu is so young and already not learning good things, watching those kinds of videos on my computer. As a result, my computer got infected with a virus." Actually, this is a misunderstanding about Wu Tianyu, because the virus wasn't caused by him watching those videos. However, he did mess around with Wu Tianyu's computer, but the virus was something I specifically went out and paid for, because I know very well what consequences this will lead to. "Didn't you say that your mom coming would only bring good things? Then let me show you what good things will happen." I didn't give Wu Tianyu a chance to explain and immediately spoke up. All right, if it's a virus, just reinstall the system. Is it really necessary to make such a fuss? Wu Jianpain told me to shut up and continued angrily, "If it were just that, I wouldn't be so mad, but today was my monthly work report day. I had prepared the PowerPoint perfectly, but when I turned on the computer, everything was gone. At the time, I thought there might be something wrong with my computer, so I connected to the company's computer to check. As soon as I connected, the entire company's computer started playing those kinds of videos. The network administrator traced it back to me right away, and I instantly became the company's celebrity." Wu Jianpain cares about saving face, so this incident probably hurts him more than death. I pretended to be shocked, opening my mouth wide, and asked knowingly, "Then, what happened next? How did it turn out? It didn't cause any real harm to you, did it?" Wu Jianpain was almost in tears. "You know, I was supposed to get a promotion. Now, not only did I get fined half a month's salary, but I was also demoted. The next chance for a promotion is nowhere in sight." Hearing this, I breathed a sigh of relief. Great, finally making Wu Jianping lose both his wife and his troops. I've endured for so long, just waiting for this day. Upon hearing that Wu Jianping had suffered such a significant loss, Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan no longer dared to make a fuss. Instead, they began to apologize in a humble and submissive manner. Wu Tianyu still looked indifferent. Not getting promoted is your own ability problem. Anyway, my dad said, your things are my things, and I can look at them whenever I want. Wu Jianping could no longer hold back and directly picked up the clothes hanger I had placed on the table in advance to discipline Wu Tianyu, who was chased all over the house, crying and screaming for grandma to save him, mom to save him, brother to save him, and to save him. Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan certainly couldn't bear to see their precious children being beaten, so they rushed forward one after another to intervene. Your brother is the only son in the family. If you're going to hit him, you might as well hit me instead. Have you become so successful now that you don't even want your own mother anymore? Did you specifically call me here just to torment us like this? Wu Jianping was outnumbered. You were the one who said you wanted to come and take care of us, to serve us. If I had known this is how you would be after coming, I would rather die than let you come. These words only stirred up a hornet's nest. Su Xiuqin immediately began making a scene, wailing at home and crying for her father-in-law to take her away, so she wouldn't be a nuisance here, having to work as a nanny at her age and all that. In the end, the argument got so intense that even the property management came to our door, asking us to keep it down. Only then did the house reluctantly quiet down. Wu Jianping, his face covered in scratches, wearily rubbed his temples, then stormed into the master bedroom and threw Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan's belongings out. Go, pack your things and get out of my house tomorrow. Su Xiuqin immediately wanted to speak up, but Tian Yulan tugged at her sleeve and pointed at Wu Tianyu. Su Xiuqin glanced at her precious grandson and, together with Tian Yulan, refrained from arguing further, simply nodding obediently. All right, we'll leave tomorrow. If you're so unwelcoming, we won't be so shameless. At worst, I'll just pretend I never gave birth to a son like you. Unfortunately, Wu Jianping didn't listen to any of these words at all. He just snorted coldly and directly closed the door to the master bedroom. I sighed towards Su Xiuqin and Tian Yulan. Both of them knew that this matter wasn't my fault, and they entered the secondary bedroom with a look of grievance. I lowered my head and silently tidied up the things on the floor. Leave, as the saying goes. It's easy to invite a god but hard to send one away. After enjoying so many days of good living, they wouldn't obediently leave just like that, exactly as I guessed. Early the next morning, Su Xiuqin was sick. Her face was pale, and she cried as she explained to Wu Jianping, when I gave birth to you back then, I lost a lot of blood, and my health has never been good. I suddenly fell ill yesterday. I really can't move right now. Give me a few days, and once I've rested well, I'll leave immediately. Tian Yulan took out her phone. I already bought a train ticket last night. I'll be heading back soon, but tickets are hard to get right now. I only managed to buy one. Besides, Tian Yu has been taken care of by mom since he was little and simply can't do without her. Coincidentally, mom is also sick, so Tian Yu will stay here for now. He knows he was wrong and will definitely behave well from now on. Once mom gets better, he'll go home with her. Although Wu Jianping didn't believe it either, seeing his mother like this, he couldn't bring himself to refuse. He had no choice but to grit his teeth and agree. Then behave yourselves at home and don't cause any trouble. After this incident, the family became very peaceful. Su Xiuqin's illness recovered in less than a week. Not only did she stop clamoring for food, drinks, and my care, but she also proactively took on all the household chores. Even Wu Tianyu reluctantly helped out, either massaging Wu Jianping's legs or serving him tea and water. The whole family could be described as harmonious and joyful. I was happy to have some leisure, sleeping in every day and finally having time to catch my breath and rest. But even so, Wu Jianping still felt a fire burning inside, and even Wu Junming wasn't as agitated as before. The two couldn't find any fault with Su Xiuqin and Wu Tianyu, and they didn't want to be the ones to cause trouble, so they quietly took advantage of the moment I was taking out the trash to pull me aside. Mom, why haven't Grandma and Tianyu left yet? School is about to start. I smiled and said, didn't you really like brother Tianyu and Grandma before? Why are you saying such things now? Wu Junming's face turned pale. That was before. I don't like them at all now. Wu Tianyu is messy and never washes his feet. I'm almost suffocated by the smell, and he also plays with my toys recklessly. Many of my toys have been broken because of him. He even snatches my food, and he often kicks me at night. Wu Jianping interrupted Wu Junming impatiently, those are all trivial matters. My mom is so careless in her daily tasks, it's really inconvenient having her here, and after all, Tianyu isn't my son, he can't stay here forever, even though meals haven't been as expensive lately, there's still meat and seafood at every meal, I really can't afford it, just tell me straight, when do you plan to send them away? I glanced at the two of them in shock, don't you know, Mom and Tianyu aren't leaving. As soon as these words were spoken, both of them froze, had no choice but to continue explaining. Mom told me a few days ago that her main purpose for coming this time is to have Tianyu attend school in the city. That's right, this was Su Xiuqin's ultimate goal, because Wu Tianyou's academic performance was poor, they had discussed the idea of taking care of our entire family. In reality, it was just a way to slowly ease Wu Tianyu into settling his household registration here and attending school in the city. Moreover, it's free schooling, they didn't plan to give us a single cent. Wu Junming shook his head, but I don't want to keep living with Tianyu, brother. His academic performance is so poor, he'll hold me back. He initially said he would tutor me with my studies, but later I found out he knows even less than I do. I've already fallen far behind my classmates these past 2 months. Wu Jianping staggered a couple of steps, muttering to himself, no wonder she suddenly changed so much, apologizing and doing things. She must have other ideas. Coming here to study sounds simple, but it requires a household registration and money. I can barely afford to raise one son, so why should I have to support 2 children? I absolutely cannot agree to this matter. Wu Jianping grew more agitated as he spoke, almost regretting to death the decision to let Su Xiuqin come over. I don't care how you do it, find a way to dissuade them immediately. I can't support them for the rest of their lives. I'm not some fool to be taken advantage of. I sneered inwardly. How did you become like this? Weren't you all so eager for Mom and Tianyu to come before? How can you say such things now? Back then, I just said one word of refusal and you all scolded me to death. Was it all an act back then? The two of them stared at me, speechless. After all, what I said was the truth, and it had been less than 2 months since the incident. Even if they wanted to argue, they had no chance. However, Wu Jianping knew that now was not the time to worry about saving face. He gritted his teeth and said, when I said that back then, wasn't it because I was thinking about having Mom come over to take care of our family? Then you could go out and find a job, so I could have it a bit easier, and our family's situation could improve. If I had known they would cause so much trouble by coming, not only failing to help me but also costing me extra money, I would never have agreed to it, even if it meant my death. You weren't like this before. In the past, when my mother asked me for money, you always understood my difficulties and helped me play the bad guy. How have you changed? I nearly burst out laughing. To be honest, I thought Wu Jianping didn't know. Turns out he was pretending to be ignorant while fully aware, wanting me to charge ahead and take the blame while he plays the good guy, yet still criticizing me for being petty and stingy. Wu Junming chimed in as well. Yeah, Mom, Wu Tianyu already said. Back then Grandma didn't come to help you during your postpartum confinement, not because she was sick, but simply because she didn't want to, and now they're only coming to take advantage of our family. And Wu Tianyu even said that from now on, everything of mine will be his, and that our house should be split in half and given to him. You have to do something about this. I've said this countless times before, but those two, father and son, just say I'm overthinking it. They say I've been brainwashed by those mindless women online. The more they talked, the angrier they became, completely forgetting that it was they who had desperately insisted on bringing Su Xiuqin in the first place. In fact, when I refused to let Su Xiuqin come and even drove her away, the two of them held a grudge against me for a full 15 years. They even hated me so much they wished I were dead. Before I could say anything, Su Xiuqin, who was standing behind them, couldn't bear to listen any longer. She rushed forward and slapped Wu Jianping across the face. Is this how a son should behave? Wu Jianping was left with a clear handprint on his face, but Su Xiuqin still felt it wasn't enough. You said you wanted me to enjoy life, but instead you're making me come here to be a nanny. Do I owe you something? Why should I be your nanny? Why can't I just stay at home and live my own good life? Actually, I had already noticed Su Xiuqin eavesdropping nearby, but I just pretended not to see it, and instead deliberately lured the father and son into talking nonsense here, saying things that would make Su Xiuqin angry. Su Xiuqin had already been thinking of finding an opportunity to force Wu Jianping to agree to support Wu Tianyu and let him attend school locally, and now she became even more enthusiastic. I want to tell everyone what kind of person you are. if I had known you were this kind of person, I shouldn't have given birth to you back then. I might as well have given birth to a pig. At least a pig can be sold for money, now that I'm old. You look down on me, I might as well just die, Su Xiuqin began. Pretending to run into the wall, Wu Jianping kept giving me meaningful looks. Understanding his intention, I immediately nodded and said, Mom, you've misunderstood, Jianping didn't mean it that way. Jianping, hurry up and agree with Mom. Seeing that I was hopelessly incompetent, Wu Jianping completely lost hope in me. You've always favored my brother since we were kids, so what's wrong with doing something for me now? Since you're unwilling to take care of me, there's no need for us to keep pretending to be a loving mother and filial son anymore. Pack your bags now, you must go back. Wu Jianping took out his phone and started looking for train tickets. Unfortunately, it was the peak travel season for the return journey, and tickets were nearly impossible to find. Seeing that things had reached this point, Wu Jianping gritted his teeth and said, Wait until the weekend, I'll drive you back myself. After this trip, don't ever bother me again. Su Xiuqin was about to make a scene again, but Wu Jianping cut her off directly. Say one more word, I'll act as if I never had a mother, and you can act as if you never had a son. Anyway, over all these years, I've secretly given you quite a bit of money. I've long since repaid the debt of your upbringing. Seeing Wu Jianping take it seriously, Su Xiuqin dared not speak further, and just sat sobbing on a nearby chair. Wu Jianping ignored her, grabbing my hand instead. Don't mind her. Hurry back and pack their luggage. I'll set off right after work tomorrow. Following Wu Jianping's instructions, I began packing the luggage for Su Xiuqin and Wu Tianyu. Wu Tianyu was the most reluctant to return home. Everything in the city was better, 1,000 times better than the countryside, so he cried and tugged at my hand, saying, Auntie, I don't want to go back. You said you treated me like your own son. Why won't you try to persuade uncle? I sighed. Tianyu, you know how good I've been to you. But I can't control your uncle. If it were up to me, I'd wish you could stay here forever. Wu Tianyu cried even harder. I didn't try to comfort him, just muttered to myself, last time, you couldn't get train tickets, so you didn't have to leave. If only your uncle's car would break down this time. If the car breaks down, he won't be able to take you back. Maybe after a while, he won't want you to leave either. The speaker has a purpose, and the listener catches the meaning. Upon hearing this, Wu Tianyu immediately stopped crying, blinking thoughtfully. I knew he had taken it in, but I pretended not to have heard. The next day, Wu Jianping took Wu Junming out with him, thinking of sending Wu Junming to a classmate's house to play, so he wouldn't come home and fight with Wu Tianyu again. But once they left, neither of them ever returned. Late last night, I personally saw Wu Tianyu sneak over to Wu Jianping's car in the dead of night and put several lighters into his fuel tank, so not long after the car drove off, the fuel tank exploded. Both Wu Jianping and Wu Junming were gone. When I got the news, my face turned pale as I explained the whole incident to Su Xiuqin. Then she ran out crying, and by the time I came back, Wu Tianyu and Su Xiuqin had already fled. Actually, it's understandable. After all, Wu Tianyu was just a child. He had only intended to damage Wu Jianping's car and had no idea it would lead to someone's death. So, after realizing he had caused a death, he immediately told Su Xiuqin. Su Xiuqin was even more afraid that I would seek revenge, so she immediately took Wu Tianyu and ran away, not even letting me help them buy the train tickets. Looking at the empty house, I finally breathed a sigh of relief. After being reborn, I thought about divorce countless times, wanting to stay far away from Wu Jianping and Wu Junming, but I couldn't do it, because the down payment for the house we live in came from selling the old house my parents left me. If we divorced, I would have to give half to Wu Jianping, and I would have to support Wu Junming for the rest of my life. So, I've been quietly planning all along, and finally, today has come, because I, Wu Junming, had previously purchased life insurance, along with commercial vehicle insurance. I received nearly 5 million in compensation. Under normal circumstances, this money would have to be shared with Su Xiuqin. However, due to the incident with Wu Tianyu, the Wu family didn't dare to leave their home, acting as if they didn't know us. After receiving the money, I not only paid off the mortgage in one go but also gained capital for investments. Relying on memories from my past life, I invested and made a fortune, directly embarking on world travel. Everywhere I went, I couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. Wu Jianping and Wu Junming truly deserved to die, and they died a fitting death. After hearing the first story above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Next, there is another similar story. Let's Continue to see, after being bound to a petty and scheming green tea's body-swapping system, we were about to exchange bodies. She was an ugly, penniless orphanage girl, while I was a female idol with billions of fans. I immediately donated all 8 billion in my bank account to charity. Then, I touched my beautiful face and without hesitation poured sulfuric acid on it. Finally, I chugged down a large bottle of highly toxic pesticide, collapsing in excruciating pain. I sneered, "Love to trade, huh? I'll let you trade to your heart's content." When I opened my eyes, the fake, saccharine face of a D-list celebrity named Rose appeared before me. Only when she spoke the exact same words as in my past life did I realize I had actually been reborn. Surrounded by the concerned crew members, my body suddenly trembled. The painful memory of my death in my previous life still lingered in my mind. Rose gently wiped the cold sweat from my forehead. "Kathy, what's wrong? You look so pale. Hang in there, just one more scene to shoot." The moment her fingers touched my forehead, I instinctively shoved her away with all my strength. Rose let out a startled cry as she fell to the ground. "Kathy, what the hell?" I stared coldly at the fallen Rose without responding. After calmly thinking for 2 seconds, the joy of rebirth vanished completely. What does it matter even if I've been reborn? Rose has an exchange system and has already designated me for a body swap. Once midnight passes, my beauty, my wealth, everything I have will be taken by her. I can't escape the system's control at all. Then what's the point of this rebirth? Is it just to make me relive the pain and abuse of my past life? Thinking about the ending of my previous life, being humiliated and tortured to death, I couldn't help but tremble all over. Seeing that I remained silent, Rose's face twisted for a moment before quickly reverting to its gentle expression. She got up limping on her own. "Kathy, are you angry? I really wasn't trying to draw a line between us just now. It's just that the Chanel bag you gave me actually costs 200,000, it's way too expensive, and I truly can't accept it. Don't send me any more money. Thanks to you, I'm already so happy to be able to act in the film crew. Please, don't transfer any more money to me." Hearing the words, "transfer money," my numb expression twitched, and my eyes mechanically shifted. "That's it. I can transfer all my assets before Rose makes the exchange. Destroy this body completely. Let's see what she can get then." With that thought, I immediately donated the 2 million in the card to children in mountainous areas right in front of Rose. Rose was startled. She snatched my phone in a panic, but no matter how frantically she tried, she couldn't undo the transaction. She glared at me and screamed, "How could you spend money so recklessly? That was all her money. It would soon be hers. How dare she mess with her money, that bitch?" I shrugged indifferently. "Since you look down on my charity, I'll just donate it." "Why do you have such a strong sense of entitlement to someone else's money?" "To be honest, the reason I treated you so well before was because I saw how poor your family was and wanted to humiliate you. Did you really think I wanted to be friends with you, huh?" Rose's face twisted, alternating between shades of green and white. "You?" I glared back, refusing to indulge her. The next second, I grabbed her hair and slapped her hard twice. The crew members watching were stunned, and no one dared to stop me. "I've bought you so many bags and clothes, what's wrong with hitting you a couple of times to vent my anger?" Rose screamed in pain from my beating. She wanted to fight back, but was afraid of damaging my beautiful face and figure, so she could only dodge. This will soon be her body. She can't fight back, but I went all out, pressing her down and beating her wildly to vent my anger. Rose could only dodge. "Kathy, what's gotten into you? Aren't you afraid of being exposed as a diva?" I sneered. "Let me tell you, what's your status compared to mine? Just an obscure stunt double. Don't even talk about hitting you. Even if you go to the police right now, nothing will happen to me. Do you think they'd dare to speak out?" Rose glanced at the surrounding crew members. They avoided eye contact, not one daring to step forward and help her. "The entire crew depends on Kathy for their livelihood." Rose was furious. "I was genuinely concerned about you, and I didn't provoke you at all. I always knew your kindness toward me was fake. Bringing me into the crew was just malicious from the start." I responded with a calm, "So what? I'm a top-tier actress. If I'm in a bad mood, I'll hit you if I want to." Rose wanted to say more, but seeing how unflinching I was, she suddenly snorted coldly. "Forget it, I won't bother with you." With that, she turned and quickly ran away, afraid I might grab her and beat her again. After all, once midnight passes, this body will be hers. She'll be the global superstar, then she'll find 10 men to kill her. I waved my hand, dismissing the crew members who had gathered to watch the commotion. "I don't feel like filming tonight, let's talk about it tomorrow. I'm going back to sleep." The director timidly didn't dare to argue with my decision. After all, My career is currently blazing like wildfire. On my way back to the hotel, I checked my phone. There were still 3 hours left until midnight. At the same time, over a dozen messages popped up in the chat window. Bestie, baby Kathy, I miss you so much. How about we visit you on set? Dad, sweetie, is there anything you want? Daddy will bring it back for you when he returns from his business trip. Mom, darling, are you coming home this weekend? I've made chicken soup for you. Reading these messages, my eyes welled up with red streaks as memories from my past life came flooding back. After swapping bodies, I finally realized that all the happiness I had for over 20 years was a complete lie. In my previous life, when I discovered my body had been switched, I desperately tried to return to my parents. I used memories only I would know to prove the truth to my mom and dad, but no one believed me. Where did this psycho come from? If you come to our neighborhood again, we'll call the police. Watch out or I'll break your legs. Desperate to make connections. Where did this poor bastard come from? Get lost. I can understand them. Such a fantastical thing. If it hadn't happened to me personally, I wouldn't have believed it either. I told Dad a little secret that only the two of us knew. To my surprise, my father flew into a rage upon hearing this and slapped me so hard that I coughed up blood. Shameless, how could an ugly thing like you be my daughter? My daughter is a big star. What the hell are you? Did my daughter tell you all this while chatting on set? Now you're trying to fool me with it. Dream on. I'm not stupid. My trusted mother loathed me and threw me out the door, beating me until I was covered in blood, never allowing me to come near again. I logged onto a certain microblogging app and vehemently denounced Rose's scheme, hoping my fans would back me up, but no one believed a word I said. Even my so-called die-hard fans banded together to harass my current body into quitting the industry, leaving dead mice at my rented apartment, splashing red paint, and sending threatening letters. Psycho, where did this ugly wannabe come from trying to slander our goddess Kathy? Pathological liar, you ungrateful wretch. Do you think our Kathy fan club is just for show? If we don't drive you out of the entertainment industry, I had no choice but to focus on making a living and supporting myself first. Later, I reluctantly left the entertainment industry and honestly became an ordinary working person. I worked hard step by step, obtained certifications, saved money, found a new boyfriend, and gradually my life got better and better. Just when I thought I could accept everything, Rose suddenly appeared before me in all her glamour. On my way home from work one day, I was kidnapped. She used my money to hire a group of diseased beggars, who abducted me to a factory in the suburbs and beat me until they broke both my legs. Unable to bear the humiliation, I tried to bite off my tongue to end my life. Rose dislocated my jaw with a backhanded slap, thinking of suicide. Dream on. I heard your life's been getting better, almost to the point of marriage. What a pipe dream. I won't allow it. Who said you could live happily? Since we've switched bodies, you should suffer miserably for the rest of your life. I'll make you envy me, make you wish you were dead, and show you just how well I'm living in your body. Rose obsessively caressed her own face. Your face is so useful, just wave your hand casually, and a whole crowd of simps will come kneeling. Hee hee. Endorsement deals come non-stop. Movies and TV shows are mine to pick. Any role I want to play, even with a bad temper, there are plenty of fans willing to pay for me. This is the life I was meant to live. Rose looked at me, smiled, then turned around and threw a bucket of manure over me. Haha, look at you now. So ridiculous. Do you have any idea how sickening it was to see you smiling so brightly every day? It made me want to vomit. What right do you have to be so happy? What right do you have to have such a pretty face? You should be an ugly monster. As she spoke, Rose neurotically splashed bucket after bucket of sewage water onto me, giggling to herself. But fortunately, heaven is still on my side. My luck has finally turned. All of this is thanks to you. With the foundation you built over the past 10 years, I can now enjoy everything without lifting a finger. Ha 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 ha. The life I had painstakingly rebuilt collapsed overnight, sending me back to square one. Rose got me fired from the company and then had the landlord kick me out of my home. She even stole my boyfriend away from me. The original marriage plans were completely ruined. Homeless and penniless, I had no choice but to swallow my pride and return to the orphanage where Rose's body originally came from. When I was on the verge of despair and wanted to die, Anna appeared. Anna, my lifelong best friend since childhood. The love I once had for her is now matched only by the hatred I feel. She pretended to lift me to heaven. Just as I finally saw hope and thought I was about to be saved, she turned around and pushed me deeper into hell, leaving me to die with everlasting regret. My eyes burst with red veins, shedding tears of blood. When I was driven to the brink, unable to afford even a single meal, forced to fight with dogs for scraps. Anna appeared like an angel, thoughtfully taking me to the hospital for treatment. She helped me rent a small apartment, used her connections to get me into a company, and even gave me some money to live comfortably. For the first time, someone believed what I said. For the first time, someone didn't treat me like I was mentally ill. Someone pulled me out of the mud for the first time. So when Anna held me in her arms and gently wiped the dirt from my face, I burst into tears. With her help, my life got better and better, and the smiles on my face grew more and more, until one time when the company organized a free vacation, Anna and I went abroad together. Only then did I realize it was all an illusion. When we arrived abroad, Anna finally revealed her true colors. She disgustedly handed me over to foreign human traffickers, her face full of disdain. I've been pretending for so long, and now I don't have to anymore. I was almost sick to death of it. I stared at Anna in disbelief. She curled her lips in a mocking smile. Did you really think I was genuinely helping you? LOL, I knew it was really you, Kathy, from the very beginning. That pretentious, holier-than-thou attitude. I'd recognize it even if you turned to ashes. You think I helped you out of kindness? I just wanted to see the look on your face when everyone abandoned you and you completely fell apart. Ha 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 ha. Betrayed by your most trusted, closest friend. How does it feel? Crushing, right? Makes you want to die, doesn't it? You deserve every bit of this pain. I've hated that stuck-up act of yours since we were kids. Always so good at seducing men. Even my Leo Sr. fell for you. Must feel pretty proud of yourself. Now I finally have the chance to get my revenge. Hee hee. I can't believe the person who pulled me out of the mud was hiding such a face. As if my breakdown wasn't enough, Anna continued to chatter on. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you. Your parents actually knew you were the real Kathy all along. They deliberately kicked you out, you know. I widened my eyes in shock. Impossible. If they knew I was real, they would never have kicked me out. I'm their biological daughter. You're lying to me. Seeing my utterly devastated expression, Anna smiled happily. You didn't actually think your parents treated you like their precious daughter, did you? LOL. If you weren't a big star who could make money for them, do you think your parents would bother pampering you? Whoever can make money for them is their precious daughter. Now that their daughter has been replaced by a more obedient soul, they're overjoyed. Why would they acknowledge you? Your parents probably wish you'd died out there. I shook my head frantically, my body trembling uncontrollably. You're lying, you're lying. They only have me as their daughter. How could they not love me? You must be lying to me. I don't believe you. Anna curled her lips mockingly. Only you as their daughter. No, no, no. You don't know, do you? Your parents have already divorced behind your back. Your father has 5 illegitimate children outside, and your mother secretly gave birth to 2 illegitimate daughters behind your back. The money they tricked from you was all spent on those illegitimate children. I stood there dumbfounded. No wonder Dad is always on business trips. No wonder Mom always pushes me to act in more dramas. Anna continued to boast. If they didn't want to keep swindling your acting fees, they would have already brought their illegitimate children into the house. Those are the children they truly cherish and protect. Do you still think they love you? Don't be naive. In the end, I was sold by foreign traffickers and subjected to extreme torture in Myanmar. Life was worse than death. The more painful the memories in my mind, the colder my expression becomes now. Come to think of it, I should thank Rose. If it weren't for her, how would I have discovered that I've been living a lie my entire life? The parents who doted on me since childhood were fake, with countless illegitimate children outside, only scheming to cheat me out of my money. Even the best friend I treated with all my heart hated me, simply because the boy she liked had feelings for me. This kind of friendship, this kind of family love, I'd rather not have it at all. There are still 2 hours left until midnight. I gave a cold smile. Rose, since you want my body so badly, I'll just give it to you. Hope you like it. I immediately called the bank president and my personal lawyer. I instructed them to donate all $8 billion on my card to various charities, completely free of charge. Additionally, I had the lawyer urgently notarize the agreement to ensure it could not be revoked by anyone. As for the real estate and temporarily unsellable items at home, I left them all to the bank president and the lawyer. Come back to reclaim it after 3 months. Let them stay there for a while. The lawyer and the bank manager were overjoyed. What an unexpected windfall. But I warned them, you must never return these things to me, not even a single penny, no matter how much I fuss or act crazy, understand? Otherwise, the gift agreement will become null and void. The two immediately nodded in agreement, meticulously recording this agreement in the contract. Finally, I left an additional $2 billion, transferring it to an anonymous overseas account. Only those who know the secret key can access this money, otherwise, even the account holder themselves would be unable to use it. Call the police, it's useless. Foreign bank accounts aren't governed by domestic regulations. Looking at the spotless bank account, I flashed a genuine smile. Would you like this penniless body? After handling the assets, there were still 30 minutes left until midnight. I texted my agent to pick me up and take me back to the company tomorrow, reminding her to bring a camera to film a vlog. In the group chat, I playfully asked my fan club and fans to prepare for a visit and come pick me up, specifically allowing them to go live. In my past life, Rose used my face to become famous for a lifetime. Going viral across the internet, she spent her life as a top-tier celebrity, dating A-list male stars in turn, and now, I looked at the exorbitant penalty for breach of contract on the agreement and slowly smiled. I wonder if she can afford the penalty as high as 1 billion. I touched my face, as beautiful as a fairy. The next second, without mercy, I splashed sulfuric acid on my own face. Ah, the sulfuric acid corrodes into my bones, eating away at my flesh. The pain makes me scream out loud. Had already prepared a towel, which I quickly stuffed into my mouth. The pain on my face grows increasingly intense, and my vision gradually blurs beyond recognition, but the uglier I looked in the mirror, the wider the smile on my face grew. My once heavenly beautiful face had now turned into a hideous monster that could scare children to tears. Not just my face, but my body and hair too. I had personally doused them all with sulfuric acid. The more grotesque this body became, the happier I felt. I looked in the mirror and saw that my appearance was beyond recognition, which satisfied me enough to conclude this step. Next, I pulled a dagger from the drawer. A cold glint flashed as the blade plunged straight into my knee. Enduring the excruciating pain in my leg, I patiently used the knife to completely destroy my knee. Make sure even a god couldn't save you. The massive blood loss, coupled with the excruciating pain from my body, gradually blurred my consciousness. I can't pass out now. Without changing my expression, I forcibly snapped 5 of my own fingers. 1, 2, 3, good. The pain in my hand brought a sliver of clarity back to my mind. Had a bottle of pesticide delivered by express courier, leaving the last $50,000 in cash from my wallet as a tip for the delivery guy. As for the $200,000 Chanel bag by the bed, I mercilessly slashed it with a knife, ensuring it couldn't be sold for even a penny. I wonder what Rose is doing right now. She must be so excited. Just thinking about what Rose is about to face makes me too excited to stop. I'm timing it with my phone's stopwatch. 5, 4, 3. With the last 2 seconds ticking away, I downed an entire bucket of pesticide in one gulp. Excruciating pain surged through my abdomen as my head grew heavy and dizzy. Ding dong, ding dong. The alarm I had set rang precisely on time. The body swap between me and Rose was successful. I smirked. I'll take over that healthy body of yours now. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw a pot-bellied man lunging at me. Startled, I instinctively kicked out. He kicked where he shouldn't have, and the man let out a scream, clutching his lower body. What are you doing? Didn't you say you wanted to? If you changed your mind, just say so. Why hit me? I froze for a moment, then quickly came to my senses. Rose must have been furious after I beat her up, so she went and seduced a man to harm herself. I sneered, still going too easy on myself. Why not just jump straight into the lake? The man staggered away into the distance, ignoring the film crew's affairs. I turned and hailed a taxi back to the orphanage. The children at the orphanage rushed to me the moment they saw me, just like in my past life. They all came chirping and fluttering onto my lap. Sister, 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 look at the new doll I made. Why is it broken? Sister, I saved your favorite chocolate for you. I met the familiar faces from my past life again, and I coaxed them one by one to go back to sleep. Actually, apart from being poor, the orphanage was full of love. Unlike my hypocritical family in my previous life, I couldn't accept my identity being stolen, so I cried and made a scene at the orphanage. But the director not only didn't throw me out, even the children tried their best to cheer me up. I gently stroked their heads. Though not related by blood, they were closer than family. Since I've taken over this body, I won't neglect them like in my past life, nor will I drag them down. Hearing that I had returned, the motherly director hurried out of the house, bringing a small packet of snacks and stuffing them into my mouth. What happened? Did someone in the crew bully you? We're not afraid of anyone, at worst. We'll make a scene. I smiled, feeling a warm sensation rise in my heart. In my past life, when Rose broke my leg, it was the motherly director who personally carried me back. I was still pulling her hair and shouting at her. Thinking about these things, My tears fell one by one. Mother Director hurriedly wiped my tears for me. What's wrong? Tell Mother Director. Did someone bully you? Did someone try to take advantage of you? I shook my head. No, I just miss home, miss you all. The headmistress's hand holding the snacks froze, stunned. Is this the same Rose who's been willful since childhood, always looking down her nose at others? She always knew this child was a good one. Look at you, still remembering to come back and see everyone even after starting work. The next day, I was scrolling through news on my phone. The news was flooded with reports about Kathy being injured and hospitalized. Fans were very worried. What's wrong with baby Kathy? Why did she suddenly go to the hospital? Could it be a problem with the film crew's equipment? Damn director, if my baby Kathy loses even a single hair, you're dead. Exactly. Do they think our fan club is just for show? No one gets to bully baby Kathy. No updates from baby Kathy today. Can't see her. I'm so sad. I spent money to buy several fake accounts online and secretly infiltrated the comment sections and fan groups to manipulate the narrative. Kathy has never been this badly hurt before. It feels like she must have been bullied. Otherwise, why wouldn't she post even a single tweet's update? It's the Capitol setting her up. Whose interests did she threaten? We must protect our Kathy baby. She only has us now. Some fans who visited the set grew even more worried and shared photos from that day. At that time when we went to visit the set, we only saw Kathy being carried out all wrapped up tightly, and many doctors came. There was even an agent who wanted to buy the photos we had. This is one I secretly saved. It looks really serious. I took the opportunity to stir things up. Baby Kathy must have been set up by the capitalists. We need to stand up for her. She must have been bullied. Let's sneak into the hospital to see her, in case baby Kathy is seriously injured. I didn't need to keep steering the narrative. Some fans were already extremely worried. The obsessive fans dug up Kathy's hospital and room number, planning to sneak in for a visit. This time, even the fan site manager couldn't resist and didn't stop them. In the hospital, the fan who sneaked into the ward uncontrollably covered her mouth. What did she just see? On the hospital bed, a woman was covered in tubes and tightly wrapped in white bandages. Both legs were encased in plaster casts, leaving her completely immobile. What puzzled fans even more was how thoroughly the white bandages covered her. Why weren't even her eyes and nose left exposed? Where did Kathy's baby's Himalayan-level high nose bridge go? Hearing someone's movement, Rose's chest heaved with anger. It hurts so much. Why does this body hurt so much? Seeing the person on the bed wake up, the fan quickly stepped forward to express their concern, chattering on, but Rose wasn't the least bit moved, only finding the fan impatient and annoying. She urgently wanted to know what had happened to her. Was there a fire last night? At that very moment, I also followed the other fans, pretending to be a die-hard supporter, and sneaked into the hospital room. Rose might not recognize other people's voices, but she would definitely recognize her own voice from the past. Pretending to be a fan, I comforted her, whispering softly in her ear, "Kathy, do you like this broken body?" Rose's mind exploded with a bang. Was it Kathy who did this? Wah! But now she couldn't speak at all. The fans thought it was their moving love that had encouraged Kathy, making them even happier. The physical pain combined with the hatred in her mind made Rose feel a surge of blood rushing to her head. With a loud thud, she was so enraged that she spat out a mouthful of blood. She fainted from sheer anger. No one knew who leaked the photos. In just one day, Kathy's photo covered in bandages topped the trending searches. The entire internet knew Kathy was in trouble, a major disaster, not just a common injury or cold. Kathy's fans were nearly frantic online. It looked so serious. Could it be burns? Judging from the picture, wrapped up so tightly, it's either burns or disfigurement. It's over, damn it. Is the crew just slacking off? How could they fail to protect such a big, living person, who harmed our precious Kathy? Hand over the surveillance footage now, otherwise, your crew is finished. Kathy's stunning, genius face. What do we do now? Don't panic. Even if her face is ruined, it can be fixed. As long as the face is there, the future is secure. That's right, we've contributed so much to endorsements for our dear Kathy. She'll definitely recover well. The director looked at the online comments, utterly overwhelmed by the bitterness. Of course, there's surveillance footage, but the problem is no one harmed Kathy in the first place. At first, she also thought someone had committed a crime, but checking the surveillance footage revealed, good grief, she had an episode herself. She splashed sulfuric acid on her own face. No one harmed her at all, but the situation was becoming increasingly untenable. At first, there were still large numbers of fans demanding justice for Kathy. They were all fans of her looks, essentially the type who would stick around as long as her beauty remained. When the photos of Kathy's disfigured face were fully exposed, everything is over. How ugly, why is there only one eye left? Disgusting, EW, the skin is all bumpy, ugh, I'm gonna puke. She looks like an 80-year-old granny wrapped in a mangy dog's skin. Just one more glance and my eyes would suffer terribly. Just thinking about how I used to like her makes me want to vomit. Though inner beauty is what truly matters, looking at her face, I just can't keep fangirling anymore. Well, but, same here, Kathy has already made a fortune, she should just quit the industry and stop embarrassing herself with that face in showbiz. Exactly, with her status, she's already earned billions anyway. Perfect time to retire. Let's part on good terms. I've done my best. But I really can't force myself to like someone so ugly. I might have a bit of a thing for unconventional looks, but this level of ugliness is just insulting to my eyes. In just half a month, Kathy's fan count plummeted at an alarming rate to double digits. The remaining followers were just pitying spectators watching the drama unfold. Not only that, numerous companies cancelled their endorsement deals with her, and all script offers were completely withdrawn. On top of that, a hefty penalty fee awaited her for compensation. Once a shining star in the entertainment industry, now she has become a despised outcast. On an utterly ordinary afternoon, I saw Rose in a wheelchair at the orphanage gate. No, it should be Kathy. I flashed a bright, sunny smile. Isn't this our big star, Kathy? What brings you to the orphanage? Rose looked at me with venomous hatred in her eyes. It's you. You knew all along that I would switch bodies with you. I smiled with quite a good mood, refraining from responding carelessly. Rose burst into hysterical laughter, tearing open the wounds on her face, causing pus and blood to ooze out. Kathy, how on earth have you been getting by all these years? Your parents don't love you at all. When they found out you were in trouble, they didn't even contribute a single penny for your medical bills. If it weren't for kind-hearted fans crowdfunding, I wouldn't have been able to treat you at all. When I finally managed to get home, I actually saw 7 illegitimate children, a whole 7. Are they pigs or something, reproducing like that? Kathy, aren't you an only child? Then why are there 7 emperors in your family? Do you know, they don't even let me eat leftovers every day. They lock me up with dogs to fight for food. Rose was getting more and more breathless as she spoke, her eyes overflowing with malice. And what about those so-called fans who claim to love you the most? Why didn't they come to get me after my accident? Why did they stop supporting me? Why won't they give me money anymore? It's just a disfigurement, and they abandoned me. It's all fake, everything is fake. How dare they stop loving me? Her gaze was fixed intently on me. Why did you deliberately disfigure yourself? Did you know something in advance? I smiled, avoiding the question and bringing up another matter instead. Can't afford the medical bills. There's clearly $2 billion in my account. Wouldn't they even spare a few tens of millions for your treatment? Rose was shocked. Impossible. I checked my account right after waking up, and there wasn't a single cent left. I shook my head helplessly. Silly girl, they transferred the money away the moment something happened to you. I looked at her with pity. To be honest with you, the reason I was so harsh on myself is because I've had depression for a long time, all because of my family's abuse. You switched bodies at the most inopportune time. I was just about to drink pesticide to kill myself, and then you switched over. I guess it's all fate. If you hadn't switched, it would've been me who died. Rose left in a daze. I smiled as I watched her walk away from behind. Hate, go ahead and tear each other apart. No idea how Rose managed to pull it off. 2 months later, I suddenly saw news about my former parents being hospitalized. In less than one night, all 9 family members died from food poisoning after eating overnight watermelon. None survived despite emergency treatment. Only Rose, who was locked in a dog cage, escaped unharmed. The police did have their suspicions about her, but she was clearly confined in a dog cage, fed only leftovers for months. There was no way she could have committed the crime even if she wanted to. Her parents denied her proper meals, so it made perfect sense and was entirely logical that she avoided poisoning by sheer circumstance. Finally, Rose was bailed out by Anna. Rose triumphantly sent me a message. They actually dared to make me eat with dogs. They all deserve to die. Serves them right. I knew that these people must have been killed by Rose. My so-called family isn't stupid. They wouldn't all die for no reason. True to her vicious nature, she actually succeeded. I was even thinking of sending someone to help her. Rose continued to send text messages. By the way, even though you're abandoned and unloved by everyone, I never expected your best friend to be so useful. She hasn't given up on me even at this point. I smiled. It seems Anna didn't recognize me this time. The means of revenge will now be directed at Rose. I watched them tear each other apart with a smile. I saw Rose again a week later when she came to block me at the orphanage gate. I raised an eyebrow. What's the matter? Rose looked utterly deranged. What do you mean what's the matter? The whole family is dead. Shouldn't I be the one inheriting those 10 villas? Why did it suddenly go to someone else? I smiled gently. Oh, that's what this is about. So the gift agreement I gave to the lawyer had taken effect. Didn't I tell you long ago? I was planning to commit suicide that night, so of course I had prepared to give away all my property. How could I possibly leave it to my abusive parents? Rose was furious and humiliated. You did this on purpose. Why didn't you remind me earlier? You waited until I killed everyone before telling me the property wasn't mine. I shrugged. You never asked. Besides, I was already planning to commit suicide, so of course I would have given away all my assets. Just think about it. Why would I leave anything for my enemies? Rose wanted to rush over and hit me, but with her legs disabled and her whole body itching and in pain, she could barely even get close to me. You wait. I leisurely watched her struggle to will herself into the orphanage. She wept bitterly before the headmaster and the children. I'm the real Rose. That wicked woman swapped bodies with me. I'm the sister who grew up with you all. The children took one look at her face and fled in terror. You monster. You're a monster. Rose's face twisted in anger. After all the kindness I showed you when you were little, you ungrateful wretch. Rose was truly at her wit's end now. She couldn't inherit the estate, and there wasn't a single penny left in her bank account. She must find someone to support her. This cripple. Rose clutched the director's hand, refusing to let go, her eyes brimming with tears. She kept recounting her memories of growing up in the orphanage. I saw a flash of shock in the director's eyes, but then he put on a look of disbelief. I slightly understood. I knew the director had recognized the real Rose, but she wasn't planning to acknowledge her. One was a disabled and disfigured Rose, utterly incapable of self-care, who had once abandoned the orphanage without a second thought, contributed nothing, and only sucked the life out of it. The other was the current Rose, well-mannered and educated, caring for the children and showing filial respect to the director. Rose recently secured substantial charitable investments for the orphanage, enough to provide education and a better life for all the children there. The headmaster hardened her heart and pushed Rose out the door. Sorry, we only accept underage orphans here. We don't take care of patients. Please leave. No matter how frantically Rose screamed, no one paid her any attention. On the contrary, the child was scared away by her. In the end, Rose glared at me with hatred. You just wait. Since I dared to kill your parents, I won't spare you either. But before Rose could unleash any major attack, just like in the previous life, she was betrayed by my best friend Anna. The trick was exactly the same, using a company team-building event to lure her to the border, leaving her with nothing, both in terms of money and safety. Rose was terrified, crying and begging Anna to let her go. She kept shouting that she wasn't Kathy, that she was actually Rose, but Anna didn't believe a word of it. How could something so fantastical happen in this world? In her previous life, Anna believed because I personally appeared before her and told her everything, but this time I didn't even show up. Rose had absolutely no evidence whatsoever, and so, Rose suffered the same inhuman torture as I did in my past life. When I couldn't reach Rose anymore, I knew the matter was settled, and I quickly called the police. Finally, Anna was imprisoned and sentenced to death. I retrieved the huge fortune left abroad and moved to a first-tier city with the children from the orphanage. A better future still awaits us. After hearing the stories above, what are your thoughts? Feel free to share your opinions in the comments section. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you liked this story, don't forget to like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. See you next time.